I want to welcome in Republican strategist and former Reagan advisor Ed Rollins and senior fellow at the American Conservative Union, Mercedes Schlapp. Great to have you both back on. Ed, just want to get your top-line reactions to what we saw play out for the better part of 2 hours in California.
I'm very angry. It was a disaster. I think the RNC ought to fire half the people that were involved in it. I think if Fox can, this is the best Fox can do. Let's get rid of Fox. Let's bring it to Newsmax or something else. This was a disaster, did not gain one Republican anywhere across this country. They've had 4 hours to basically run these stupid shows. These are not debates. I've been around the game for 50 years. These are the worst two debates I've ever seen, and they don't give the candidates an opportunity to really perform.
Mercedes, your reaction to that?
Goodness, great. Ed, I was watching this documentary on Reagan the other day, and you see the difference of how a debate format should go, where it really allows the candidates to speak. But the mere fact is you have so many of these people on the stage debating and knowing that they're going nowhere, Rob. Right. They're going nowhere with this. So I also want to ask you, in this question in particular, when are some of these candidates going to drop out? They obviously have no role and really should not even be on the debate stage.
I would argue, and obviously you're a great professional, a great friend, I would argue we're too early for debates. Why are we letting the debates pick our candidates? These are the Iowa and New Hampshire would deliberately let people go out and meet people in cafes and schoolyards and streets. You have caucuses and those kinds of things. Those aren't about debates. What we're doing is putting on shows for Fox so far because it can't fill its own thing. The ratings are low. Let people go out and campaign for a while and see if they establish. There's no need to drop out at this point in time because it doesn't matter. There's not a one of them on that stage that's going to beat Trump. Trump is our nominee, and we don't even treat Trump well. So I think the reality here is go out, campaign for a couple months, see who's where and what. By the time you get to Super Tuesday, you're going to pretty much know who the alternatives are to Trump, if there are any, and go from there.
Yeah.
But the idea that you're letting these things be run by the RNC, we got rid of the Presidential Commission because it didn't do it well, and I was very instrumental in getting rid of it and starting it, and it was a disaster. The RNC is now a disaster. The idea that last night the national anthem, two political parties in this country, the national anthem that's sung at every baseball game, every Super Bowl, what have you, it takes less than 2 minutes, was not run on prime time. They put it behind the stage, in which Larry Kudlow talked all the way through it. What kind of a message is that for the party?
Right.
For the country? There's not one single person who's watched these two debates who said, I've become a Republican. That's my party now. These are the kind of guys I want to go follow. And that's a disaster.
Ed, I'm with you. So I have the moderators. So now we've got two debates to look back at. I think the format is just terrible. Let them debate. Let them actually debate. You mentioned Stuart Varney. There was a moment between that I thought was actually one of the more interesting moments in what I thought was really a 2-hour snooze fest between Nikki Haley and Tim Scott. Stuart Varney interrupts and goes to commercial break. And I was like, isn't the whole point of a debate for these candidates to actually do just that and debate?
Well, it's not even a debate. They're trying to make it a reality. Who would you vote off the island?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Right.
Crazy.
That was, I want to play that soundbite. Ed, let me interrupt. Let me just play that soundbite for people that didn't wait for this thing to end. On the East Coast, it was pushing midnight by the time we got done here. This was the final question in the debate about voting one of your fellow Republicans off the island. Very bizarre.
None of you have indicated that you're dropping out. So, which one of you on stage tonight should be voted off the island? Please use your marker to write your choice on the notepad in front of you. 15 seconds starting now. Of the people on the stage, who should be? I'm absolutely serious.
With all due respect, I mean, we're here, we're happy to debate, but I think that's disrespectful to my fellow competitors.
Nobody wants to participate.
Let's do some questions.
All right. Mercedes, you've been at it a long time advising candidates. What would you do in a situation like that, or advise your candidate to do? Put a name down, or do what the governor of Florida decided to do?
I think Ron DeSantis gave the right answer. Why? That should have never been a question. That should have never been a question, Rob, that Fox Business should have asked to the candidates. We're talking about serious policies here. And the mere fact is that they're at a point right now that it does not help any of these candidates to do that. What they're trying to do is create a food fight. They want to have that controversy,
Ratings
that
and
exactly,
that, and just,
and tension.
yeah, back to
that
Ed's
does
point.
nothing to the Republican base. Does
Ed,
absolutely nothing.
just quickly, Ed, and you can hear where they're playing me off, but did the needle move for anyone last night in a significant way?
No, absolutely not. For Donald Trump and for Joe Biden.
All right, we've come a long way. Ed Rollins, Mercedes Schlapp, great having you both on. Great having you both together. We appreciate it.